everybody, it's your girl Sherry, and welcome back to another episode of Alleged Actually. I am joined this evening with my Bravo bestie, Joey. What's up, Joey?
How goes it?
It's going, honey. It's really going. Excited tonight to talk to you all about Salt Lake City. Yeah. So, before we get into it, guys, real quick, if you're new over here, we do reality TV recaps, and occasionally we get into some pop culture segments. If you've come over and you enjoy that sort of content, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go ahead, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Please, y'all, give us the thumbs up tonight on this live. And then if you are watching the replay, give us the thumbs up on the video and comment. We'd like to hear from you. So, Joey, what are you thinking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 6 thus far?
I mean, obviously, I'm thrilled to have Salt Lake City back because I feel like they really are just like the pinnacle of housewives. I mean, they have to be like the best thing going in out of all the franchises, you know. Especially, I know it's like an unpopular opinion, but like I'm really feeling like the Jersey drought, and I know they haven't had like a great season in years, but Jersey was my gateway to Bravo, so I always have a soft spot for them, and I'm really, really, really feeling the drought. But Salt Lake City is by far the best. Miami is a close second. People keep sleeping on Miami, and I don't understand why.
Agreed. And there are some theories. Some people say, well, you know, it's because they started out, then they took them off and brought them back on Peacock, and, you know, people just didn't kind of feel it. But at this point, with the way some of the others have performed, if you will, Miami is killing it. I know. I don't get it either. But, I mean, maybe it's a slow burn. And then they were saying, like, their ratings weren't good. However, their streaming ratings, though, they say are. So, like, I guess people aren't checking for them on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern or whatever that is, y'all. 6, whatever. The other time zones. However, a lot of people are going to Peacock to watch them. So, I mean.
Well, I mean, it's 2025. Like, who has, like, cable?
Exactly. That's old school. So, I think.
Yeah, when they push out ratings, I'm like, this is false information because all that really matters is, like, the streaming ratings.
Agreed. And a lot of times when you see content creators really push that, it's because they're hating on it. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, Salt Lake, I felt like the first episode, honestly, like they didn't come out swinging. Yeah. It was a little bit of like a snooze. That trip was ridiculous. The only saving grace was Mary Cosby back on our screens. I mean, within the first 30 seconds, she's like roasting Angie, and I was like, "Yep, this is what I missed. That's
what we missed."
Episode 2 definitely made up for it. This is the Salt Lake I've been waiting for.
That's what I've been looking for, waiting for. I mean, y'all, when I watched it, I sat up. I was like, yes. My husband was downstairs with me. And even he looked up because, I mean, it was zinger after zinger after zinger. I mean, it was just all the reasons I love those ladies, honey.
Yep.
So let's get into it. Like you said, episode 1, kind of, a little snoozy. But we get into episode 2, and we come off the heels of their little Blair Witch Project moment where they leave off as if the ghost of Molly had got Meredith when she was fine. And listen, Meredith even makes the comment in confessional. She was like, listen, they're not going to let us die. It's too big of a liability for the network. And I'm like, well, yeah, Meredith. Mm-hmm. You guys were a little ridiculous on episode 1. Anyway, that was so silly. It really was. But neither here nor there. So the ladies are preparing now to go brush their teeth down by the river. And then they're checking out some animals on the other side. Everything is beautiful out there. I'll give Angie that. I mean, I'm not a camping type of girl, but the scenery was beautiful. The idea of the camaraderie of them coming together in close spaces, I guess, was a good try.
No, I'm also not. I am also not a camping girl. No. And all I was thinking about the whole time was like, she's lucky that they have this group of women from Utah because, like, can you imagine, like, Heather Dubrow in, like, an RV on a camping trip?
Absolutely not.
Like, can you imagine, like, Dorit Kemsley in an RV on a camping trip?
No.
Can you imagine, like, I can't even fathom some of these housewives that we've seen, like, Caroline Stanberry in an RV on a camping trip.
Gosh, no. No. Absolutely not. No, not happening. No. So they were good sports. They were really good sports.
Really good sports.
Really good sports. So at this point, they're getting ready for breakfast, which was a bust. Bronwyn is giving it a shot, trying to
just as big of a bust as dinner was.
That was sad. Mary with her little veggie burger on a stick. I was just like, no buns, no condiments. They had asparagus. I was like, what are you doing?
You know what, Angie K? Props for trying.
She did try. She tried. Her heart was in the right place. It was
100%. And you know what? It was something different. Like, really, they go on like great trips, but at the end of the day, it's just like the same trip in like a different city. They're in a fancy hotel. They go out for fancy dinners. They are walking around. They're shopping. You know what I mean? It was something different.
Yep.
Kudos, Mary. Or Angie. Kudos.
I agree. 1,000%. So Bronwyn's trying to cook the steak. Mary's like, girl, what are you doing? Let Meredith take over. And Bronwyn agrees. She's like, listen, y'all, I could F up pouring cereal in a bowl. So really, you know, I wouldn't touch anything. I wouldn't eat anything I touched. So she agrees. Everybody gives Mary a pass. Mary can say what she wants, child. So there you have it. The comic relief that we need. So at this point, the ladies had gathered around the fire to eat. And Heather was, you know, kind of going back over her experience. And she said this experience made her think that this could be a good place where she could have brought her girls. They could have got an RV and had this whole experience. They could fish. But she said it's too late now because Annabelle is leaving. And then one of the ladies said, well, look, you know, it's not like you couldn't do it the summer after she comes back from college. But the truth is, y'all, Heather's like, yeah, she's moving out. She's the last kid in the house. She's like, I can't wait for it to happen. Like, it couldn't happen soon enough for me. And I feel guilty. And she says she just feels like she's the last part of that era of her life. And she wants it to be over with. She clarified not her relationships with her daughter, but just trying to be a family, like trying to be mom and the dad. And I kind of felt that. And she said her daughter, Annabelle, even said that she felt like she'd been in a fight or flight ever since their dad left. And she admits that she's been that way because she didn't want her kids to get screwed up because of divorce. And I mean, I guess as you guys know, Heather, that's when she came on, you know, that was her big thing. It was traditionally Mormon to stay married and be traditional family. She had this divorce and consequently she ended up leaving the church. She said that she was born to be a wife and a mother, and any desire to be anything outside of that was basically a sin. These are their words for the Mormon religion, so y'all don't come for me because I don't know. I'm just repeating what she said. She was in charge of raising the kids, and he was in charge of providing. And when he left, she was still 100% in charge of raising the kids, and she's never had a night off. Which I thought, now Heather, we've seen you on the trips. We've seen you do that. So you never had a night off?
Yeah, please. Girl. Spare me.
Really? Yeah, that doesn't kind of line up with what we're looking at, but I digress. In confessional, she basically said her husband never had custody of the kids and never had them overnight. She had them 100% of the time, and he got to pop in once a week and be fun dad. She says, looking at that era, it was really, really hard. And it was mostly hard because she couldn't show her girls that she had that she was upset, or she had to act like it was perfect and normal. And she was happy and fine, but she was gritting her teeth from the whole time. And she was exhausted. Now, as a mom, I can relate some. Bronwyn chimes in with a different experience. And Bronwyn's like, told her she obviously took a different track. So, of course, she was also raised traditionally with the two parents in the home. and her parents are still together 50 plus years and Mormon. She said when she had Gwen by herself, she went through the same insecurity that this is not the way it's supposed to be happening. She was supposed to have a family and supposed to be married in the temple and all that stuff. But she feels the exact opposite of Heather. Gwen, her daughter, graduated in October and she needs to be leaving. And instead, Bronwyn allowed her to move her boyfriend into their house so that she could stay longer. And in confessional, Bronwyn said she's not prepared for Gwen to move out right now. And they flash to the scene where Bronwyn and Gwen are cooking, or really Gwen is cooking for Bronwyn with her boyfriend in tow, telling her, look, Mom, I can't cook for you until you're 80. And Bronwyn says she was just kind of hoping she'd live there like forever. She says, what if Gwen moves out and she has all this time and space to go do something fabulous and she doesn't make anything fabulous of her life? So she's basically saying she doesn't know who she is without being Gwen's mom. And Heather feels it's a dig. So I'm going to speak because as a mom, I understand both sides. And I think it's important to note that Heather and Bronwyn had different experiences. Bronwyn was a young single mom. The father that is now deceased at the time, the family didn't want anything to do with that. They kind of wanted it to go away. She took care of her daughter. They were very close. So there may be, some people try to say codependence, but different experience. And so for her, that's a safety net. And I'm sure that, and she explains later when she tries to make amends with Heather because Heather took it offensively, that her experience was that she felt like, she wasn't done mothering, or maybe she didn't mother properly. And with Heather, it's okay, moms, to admit when it's time to be empty nesters that you're a little excited, because it's a new phase of life. You get to live your life in a different manner where you're not constantly having to be hands-on. You will never stop being a mother, but you will do it in more of a guiding sense and not in the sense where you're on all the time. So I get both sides. I don't think either were wrong, and that was just their perspectives. I mean, Joey, I know you're not a mom, but chime in. Anything you thought about those two scenes? I thought it was nice they were sharing. So,
well, as our resident Heather hater, obviously, I am not Team Heather because I think that she is an abomination to the show. But my thing was, I felt like when Heather was sharing, even though she was saying, like, I can't wait for her to get out of the house, like, blah, blah, whatever, I took it that she kind of did, like, internally, though, feel guilty about feeling like that way or saying those things. So I felt like when Bronwyn stepped in, I didn't feel like Bronwyn was being like, oh, that's horrible. I am the best. I felt like Bronwyn was trying to say, everyone's experience is different. And your feelings are totally valid. Because here's my feeling. People probably think that I'm crazy. Like, I think it's crazy to have your daughter's boyfriend, like, move into the house as well. Yeah, and trying to, like, keep her. Like, isn't the whole point of being a parent and, like, raising a kid is to raise them to be mature enough and whatever to, like, send them out into the world to have like their own. So, absolutely. Like, I didn't take it as, I took it as Bronwyn almost, like, supporting Heather, being like, that's okay, you feel that way, because everyone's journey is different.
Right.
Heather, of course, because she's a professional victim and I just hate her, of course, had to try to take everything, like, negatively, and the woman's just dying for a fight and, like, ugh.
I know.
But that was just my take personally. Again, yeah, I'm not a mother. I don't have any kids. I'm never going to have any kids. But that was my take on it from a gay man that will never have children.
I mean, no, you're not wrong. I really think that sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of times, Heather's looking for a moment. She's looking for sympathy. And I'm sure there was some guilt because low key, it sounded a little crazy. But I mean, let's be clear. Some of us moms have felt that, it is exhausting, and depending on your experiences. And 3 daughters, let me just tell you, by the time they hit around 12 or 13 and through them teen years, woo, okay? I only have one daughter. I have 2 boys, 1 daughter, but that daughter was like 10 and 1. So therefore, I get it. I get it. When was college drop off there, I was like, let's
go. Don't let her hit you on the way out. Bye.
And with my youngest, I was my boys. So I get it. But love you, Bria, and you know it. But yeah, so I get it. So I mean, but yes, Heather gets on my nerves too. But I had to give her a little grace because as a mom, I think that even though I know it kind of came out sounding a little bit crazy, she was valid in her feelings too. It's her time now. She's raised her daughters, and they seem to be well-rounded girls. Go live your life, and I mean, still be a mom. You're never gonna stop, but you can do it in a way that's a little bit more hands-off. So, but yes, and I agree with you, Joey. Bronwyn was really trying to support her in that moment, and she totally she's always looking for something with Bronwyn, no matter what Bronwyn does. And I hate that. I hate that. I really do. At any rate, so Whitney chimes in and she's like, well, listen, guys, I wish that I could just go ahead and be a stay-at-home mom at this point, because then we find out that they've had a failed business and have lost millions of dollars. Yeah.
But you know what? Kudos to her for owning it.
Absolutely. And I think, she might have said it even at that moment, and I can't remember at some point, but she was saying that's the whole point that she's trying to make, with Lisa. If Lisa would just be honest, humble a little bit, and own it, she would get full support from those ladies, and that's where Whitney comes from. She comes from because Whitney's done a lot of work on herself. And so you can even tell sometimes by the language she uses, it's very like guided by therapy. And yeah, when you own it, when you're honest about it, there's no shame when, and I think this group of women, there are some genuine friendships in that group. So, and I don't think that any of them would not support when you're at your lowest like that. Not like some of the other casts that shall not be named tonight. So they talk about that, and then Whitney does ask Mary how Robert Jr. is doing, which I thought was nice, because I want to also say that Mary affirmed Heather by saying, listen, you raised 3 girls on your own. I couldn't have done that. I had 1 child, and if I didn't have Robert Sr., there's no way I could have done that. So you should, automatically feel some sort of accomplishment. And, Heather, said thank you, but I don't know how well it landed. But she basically said that he's doing as well as he can be doing. He has highs and lows. Some days he's good and some days he's not. And she said Robert Sr. said he told him that they could not babysit him, and he had the tools. He had to use them. They just had to take it one day at a time. And sadly, honest, that's real. That's real. And one of the things I love about Mary, as quirky as she is, and as funny and as almost like mysterious as she is, because I'm still trying to figure out. I mean, doesn't seem like doesn't feel like she's putting on. That's really her. And I think when she shared a reunion last year, I got a sense to understand her a little better. But the fact that she's so willing to share and just be so honest, like I said, with there being such a drug epidemic right now and a lot of families being touched by this, I will always have hats off to Mary. I mean, really, to be honest, her and Robert Jr. I mean, 1,000%.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel like people don't give him like enough credit, but like kudos to him for agreeing to go on camera in front of the country or the world or whatever people stream it like in other countries, and to be so vulnerable. Like, I'll tell you right now, couldn't be me.
Wouldn't have been me either. Honestly, no. Sadly, I still suffer from that little thing called I care what people think. It's getting less and less the older I get. The older I get, the less I care. But yeah, particularly at his age, there is no way. Yeah, no. So at this point, Angie's like, all right, y'all, we've had enough fun. We're going to wrap it up. And they get ready to leave. The RV gets stuck, and all the ladies get out to help push, except for Mary. But you know what? I was proud of Meredith. Meredith was pushing with all she had. I mean, Meredith is that girl. I think the only one, if she was there, that might not have would have been Lisa.
Lisa would have never.
No.
Never. But you know what? Again, though, kudos to Mary for, keeping it real. This is who she is. She's not getting out in that to push that RV in like that mud. No, she ain't.
She sure did not. And she was not ashamed, and they did not care. They stepped up and they're like, okay, Mary, it's all good. They know her. You know what I mean? Look, you know your girl, right? So, okay. Hey, Shanda Anderson. Thank you for joining us for the live. Thank you so much. So basically they finally shoved until they got it moving, and the RV is on its way.
And they did. Kudos to them. Who knew?
Who knew? Who knew? So, y'all, the next scene is the Lisa and Heather meetup. Whew, let me tell you, blood was a-boiling. Heather is insufferable. But
yes, she is. And this is why I hate her so much.
Totally understandable. Totally. So she can't wait the minute she gets right back. She and Lisa connect, and Lisa claimed, I wish I could have gone with them. And Heather tells her, though she wasn't physically there, she was a part of the trip from jump, because she can't wait to tell them what was said. Heather,
but though, it should be pointed out, though, that was probably the only truth that Heather told at this luncheon.
Agreed.
Because, right, episode 1, like, Lisa not being there, I felt it. She, I think, is possibly the biggest star of, like, the show. And,
yes.
And even though she wasn't there, though, the topic of conversation the whole time. Yeah, that is a true star, which reminded me of the Queen, Teresa Giudice, is in every scene, whether present or not.
You are correct. They never lost an opportunity to put Teresa in their mouth. That is true. Now, I'll give you that, Joanne. You are right. Good tie-in. Yes. So, basically, Heather goes in confessional, and she's like, I'm not going to lie to Lisa. Part of their friendship is being straight with each other. I'm like, girl, bye.
She's not going to lie. Yeah.
So she tells Lisa that Bronwyn had been digging up information about her lawsuits. And Heather said it was clear that she was just there to annihilate you. And Heather's like, you need to squash it. And Lisa's like, look, all of that was dismissed. Okay. So then we have Lisa in confessional. Okay, y'all, I gotta say this. That confessional look. No, ma'am. And I don't know what y'all thought about it, but she just looked off. It was the hair. The dress was ill-fitted. It's not Lisa that I'm used to. And yes, I know she got the procedure she talks about, which is like the threading.
The threads.
The threads, right. But it's not. I just didn't like it.
No, I don't know. And my coworker brought it up really, really well. Something was wonky about an eye.
It was wonky with that eye. I mean, sincerely. And that was whether we were doing the red dress confessional look or the strapless kind of brownish tan. Neither to me. The other one was better than the red. The red, I was like, girlfriend, no ma'am. And as vain as Lisa is, I thought, okay. I digress, y'all. But Lisa, it's like, who goes and digs up 15 years of my life and goes, ew, Lisa is so naughty. She has dismissed cases. She's like, obviously they're not bright, because anyone with half a brain would know a dismissed lawsuit is nothing. I mean, it's dismissed. So no one sues the bottom bitch. They go straight for the top.
It was one of my favorite quotes of the whole episode, though, because you know what? Facts.
It's facts. You gotta love Lisa, because she thinks an awful lot of herself. Okay.
Oh, she sure does.
But hey, right? She's like, they go straight for the top. I'm like, all right. So she goes on to say, well, we will see. She's like, I'll see them at Amy Stills, and she'll have no problem talking to them about it. And Heather asked her, well, what is going on with the lawsuit that they're even talking about? And so Lisa claims an old business partner from 15 years ago that they sold the business to, sued them. And she said it was baseless, malicious, and dumb. And they had one within a couple of weeks, and it got dismissed immediately. There's no claim. There's nothing. It got dismissed. And then Lisa has a nerve to say, She doesn't own the same kind of businesses as anybody else in this friend group. She lives a very different life from all of them. And I was like, okay, Heather, catch that tea, because you just got flamed. You're just trying to kiss her behind, and she just put you like, girl, you couldn't see me on your best day. Mm-hmm.
I know, because you know what though? It really is like, God, I feel like all I'm doing is like crapping on Heather, but Heather is like such a pick-me, right?
Yes, she is.
When the show started, we saw her just so far lodged up Jen-Shah's behind.
Oh God,
we didn't know where Jen ended and Heather started. No. And now that Jen's out, and mind you, her and Lisa never got along, but now she's just, you know, dislodged from Jen and just lodged up in like Lisa. It's like literally, it's ridiculous. She's ridiculous.
She is ridiculous. She is. You know, and that comment got her. She was like, actually, your life is not that different from all of us. And Lisa maintains, oh, it is. And she said, everybody knows I do big things.
I don't even like Heather, but let's be honest, let's not downplay her success.
Oh, beauty bar, yeah.
That lady got money. That lady is successful. Absolutely. I mean, let's not downplay it.
It just goes to show you, like, Lisa is so, God, she would be a really hard person to be friends with. I mean, she's so self-absorbed. And that was so rude. And as much as I don't like Heather, here she was coming, you know, to kind of give her the tea, the heads up. And she's like, girl, no, y'all can't see me. Like I said, on your best day, my business is different. I do big things. And I'm like, dang. And
but like, also, like, what business? Like, your tequila business? Like, I'll be honest, I've never seen a bottle of either tequila anywhere.
Me neither. And I'm always scanning. Like, I just want to see what all is there. I have never.
No. And when I travel now, I've started to purposely look for it because I'm determined to find it somewhere out in like the wild.
Right.
It's nowhere.
I haven't seen it either, Joey. I probably don't travel as much as you, but you know, when I'm out and about, I do scan. I'm like, girl. In confessional, Heather said this is her problem. These little comments, these little elitist things to make herself better and different. She's like, I get it. You don't want to be basic. You don't want to be normal, but just give us a little bit of credit. And Lisa asked Heather, did anyone stand up for her other than Heather? She's like, did Meredith? And Heather said Meredith was Meredith. Lisa was like, oh, you mean silent? Okay. False. I mean, Meredith, it was false. She did. Well, then she said, well, she defended you at first at the picnic table when the first lawsuits came up, and then things got heated and ugly when Angie started to pile on. And I was like, and so she was like, Heather, so Lisa said she thought that she and Angie were good. So she asked Heather, what was she saying? And Heather told her Angie pretty much co-signed everything that Bronwyn was saying as fact. So Lisa was like, she found it most disappointing that Angie jumped in and Meredith didn't say a word. She said the whole thing was kind of pathetic. And then that's when Lisa starts to cry. And Heather tries to console her, but Lisa claims she's fine. And Heather tells her, okay, it's okay to have your feelings hurt by friends that have betrayed you because it's hurtful. I mean, she's trying to paint this narrative that she's the only real friend that Lisa has and, you know, no one else. And as much as I can't stand Brittni, though, Brittni was riding for Lisa too. And she didn't mention that.
Riding so hard as if these women don't hate her enough. Brittni was riding so hard for Lisa. And honestly, though, like, I felt Meredith defended Lisa. Like, I just don't understand. But you know, though, this is who Heather is. She's a lying, god-awful human being.
She is. And she's doing it again to establish herself as Lisa's loyal friend, you know, like her bestie.
And, like, she's trying to play, like, the Salt Lake City, like, bone collector, but it's just done so poorly.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, ugh, I don't know. And, Sheree was a bone collector, right, in Atlanta. Probably the best bone collector of all time.
She was.
But she was honest about everything. Like, Heather's a liar, so it's not landing the same.
Agreed. 100%. In confessional, Lisa says that she was crying because she's so frustrated and upset. She said all these years of sacrificing and like giving 100%, taking time away from this or that, or missing critical events in their life because they're putting everything in their brand. And she said, and then they want to sit there and act like it's no big deal to rip it down. And she tells Heather, for them to like bring up stupid ish to try and denigrate my character is disgusting. She said, let's dissect everybody's life because if they want to talk about mine, you're opening the door for me to talk about yours. And Heather's like, well, I think you can clear it up. I was like, girl, nothing gets you off more than to activate Lisa so there can be this big dramatic, like we will get to, yelling match and craziness. So
yeah, and then Heather sits there with her hands in the air, like, oh my God.
And like with this grin on her face, just literally taking it all in.
Yeah, that evil grin she does.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
ugh.
1000%. Yes.
She's such a piece of crap. I hate her.
She is, y'all. She is. I agree. Our next scene is Whitney and Bronwyn going skiing. Basically, y'all, that scene was really where Bronwyn gets a lot more of the receipts that she got from these court documents. Let me tell y'all something. Bronwyn did not come to play with Lisa this season. When Lisa told her on the reunion and embarrassed her and like they weren't real friends, and it was duly noted, honey. Let me just say this about Bronwyn Newport, and I said it last season. This woman, she, to me, I am fascinated. She's so, okay, so she looks almost Audrey Hepburnish, but she can come with the fire. She's quick with it. She pulls her receipts and she can do it with class and intelligence and tear you up.
Without ever raising her voice.
Without even raising her voice. I would put her up with any housewife. I have all faith that she can hold her own on any franchise. I stand by it. If y'all let me know. Do y'all agree? Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm impressed every time I see her do it.
Yeah, me too.
It is. So basically, Bronwyn breaks it down and she says, look, there are 5 people that are suing her. She's like, one that was offering their own text messages as evidence. And she's like, her response to the lawsuits is too long. It was too long ago for you to ask to be repaid, or we never had a repayment schedule. So technically I didn't default on a repayment schedule. And Bronwyn goes on to say that if the text he claims, this is the guy that is suing, to have are real, she's not denying she took the money, which she says is suspect too. She was like, if John is running Vita or they co-run it together, why would the lawsuit suggest she didn't want John to know about the money? She goes on again to say how that feels suspect. So there's like allegedly the Park City guy that was mentioned in the reunion last season by Angie that supposedly has been funding like her lip fillers. And as we get on, Bronwyn goes into even more and more detail. There's apparently a Amex card that this person allows her to use and charge on that he maintains and pays for. That's not John. Allegedly.
I'm very jealous.
Listen, I mean, you think? I mean, and so Whitney was just kind of like, John didn't know, and Bronwyn keeps saying supposedly. Now Bronwyn's smart. Every time that Whitney would like try to dig deeper, her response was like, supposedly. But what was so funny is they're showing the court docs in the flashback,
right?
And they would highlight what she was talking about, and I thought, in confessional, Bronwyn says when the lawsuits were reported, 2 of the details that stood out to her were one of the gentlemen accusing Lisa claims to have text messages where he claims she acknowledges the debt. They show on the screen an article highlighting where it stated, Barlow did not dispute the debt, but rather simply replied with the palm face emoji and one-word response, overwhelmed. Bronwyn also says the lawsuit implies she would prefer he didn't tell John, so she got more specific in her confessional. Bronwyn says, having some guy get you an Amex under his credit and under his limit. And Whitney asks if that's the mystery man that Angie was talking about. And Bronwyn says, supposedly.
So that's what? Not her first rodeo.
Oh, you know what? It's so funny. Lisa sadly underestimated Bronwyn horribly.
She sure did.
Big mistake, Lisa, honey. And it's not stopping. She is coming for you, baby. Mm-hmm. Let's just also know, and they talked about this when she was on Watch What Happens Live, and I think it was in the first episode when Bronwyn admits about the whole thing with the jewelry, because you know how Lisa tried to shame her awfully about the $4 million necklace, and she admits that she did in fact lie, because she thought that she could get another piece of jewelry, that maybe the ladies wouldn't know the difference, and she wanted to feel cool. Now, what did you think about that, Joey? Because I thought that was brave. Thought it was real. And I thought it also completely keeps just verifying my theory that every woman has that little 12-year-old girl in her that wants to be liked by the group and wants to be popular and wants to be accepted. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it was real. And it's the thing that I love about some Housewives, and it's the same feeling I have with Whitney being we had this failed business, we're out all this money, blah blah. When you own something like that in the Housewives world, it shatters everybody else, because now these women like Lisa has nothing to go off of when it comes to Lisa was going to bring that necklace back up.
Oh,
bring it. Bronwyn already admitted to it. She already owned it. She already said whatever. She explained her side. Own it. If Lisa and Whitney go after it, what are you gonna do? Talk about her failed businesses? She already owned it.
She already told it. Yeah, she told us all.
And this is why this same group of women hated Monica so bad. And I'll die on this hill, because Monica was like, yeah, I committed adultery. I'm broke. I this, I that. What are you going to say about her? You have nothing to say about her in an argument. And that drives them bonkers.
It does. It does. It definitely does. So, yeah. Smart move on.
Very smart.
Mm-hmm. And she said, they showed Angie's tweet when they were talking about the mystery man and the flashback to the reunion, and it said she pays for her lips with her own Amex, not a Park City mystery man's. Unlike Lisa's G-Wagon, my lips can't get repoed. I'm not your bestie in prison, so I'm not interested in a gangbang, but it's cute you two had to team up. Night. Hashtag RHOSLC. Child, I don't know. They put it up, so I wanted to write it. But Angie cracks me up. She's another one. She can tear you up, too. I mean, that ain't what you want either.
Mm-hmm. No, and I really, really like Angie more and more as time goes on. She really found her footing, and she's a great housewife. She's great for the show.
I agree, 1,000%.
And 2 years in a row, Center Snowflake. Get it, girl.
Yes, I know. She did her big one, y'all. She did. To come from Franda to Center Snowflake. Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. And we continue to love her. So, Bronwyn said, especially when she's going back, and we're going back in her confessional, when she's worried about what I am or not putting on my Amex jewelry-wise. Why don't you worry about what Amex you're using? She sits there and lets Brittni call me a gold digger. At least I'm spending my own husband's money. You have a husband. Whose money are you spending? Ooh, okay, then. All righty. So now we take it to a little bit more serious. We have the scene with Mary and Robert Jr. Yeah. That's the reality. He comes in, Mary's in a room, and he comes in, and I love their relationship, because the fact that he can sit there with her and be so honest about how he's feeling, what's going on with him. And then to me, to watch how calmly she receives the information, she listens, because, as a mom, my first reaction would be freaking out. Like, what are you doing? You can't go. Mary has this calmness about her that gives him that safe space. And I think, y'all, we can learn a lot from Mary. We could, with all her quirkiness. She's very in tune with her son. I know, because she even said, it's hard to hear, it shatters her. But in that moment, she's just calm. She listens, she receives the information, and she processes it and gives him a safe space to express himself. So apparently he is still struggling. He's isolating because he can't really be around the same people that he used to party with, and he shouldn't be. And, though she says she doesn't want him to feel isolated, that she wants him to realize that you can't be around the same people, because she put it in a way, but I'm paraphrasing, that these same people, while you're trying to take steps forward, can pull you back. And anyone that has ever faced an addiction and tried to recover, they'll always tell you, you change your people, places, and things. You got to.
Where's his wife?
You know what, Joey? I thought about that, because I've watched this episode 3 times, and I thought, because I remember when they asked on the reunion, I think they said that she separately went to get help or something, but they were legally married, right? Or at least that's what they said.
I remember Mary didn't know that they had gotten married.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if they're separated, or Mary just won't, or she's not filming, or I don't know. They don't make a mention of her, or they haven't yet.
And that's not even like a mention of her.
No, not even a mention. And even because he's talking about his friends, but he's not said like my wife.
Yeah.
Please say a word.
No, not a word. It's like she doesn't exist. And the whole time I'm like, is she living there still? Right? What's going on? Yeah, so weird.
Very weird. I don't know. But basically, he admits to his mom that he's still the way he's getting stimuli is from unhealthy resources. And she's like, what sources? And he says food and drugs. And when she asked him to clarify, she asked him, had he smoked or smoked that day? And he said, yeah, he had smoked weed. And he said he was still beating himself up because he's not completely off and perfect. And she tells him, look, every day is not easy. And I know you have to take it. No, you have to take it life day by day. Sometimes you fall, but you get back up. And she admits that it knocks the wind out of her, but she said it's like her whole life. She's always been that helicopter mom. And she feels like she drove him to be not wanting to let her down, so not telling her the truth. And she felt like it's actually changed her to back off. So this is why we're seeing this nice, calm, composed, Mary, and let him see that she trusts that he's going to make the right decision, because it's like you have to, they can't do it because you can't do it for them. They have to want to do it for themselves. And she said that they were fighters, and she tells him, you can't save anybody that doesn't want to be saved. You can only save yourself, which was excellent advice for families that are struggling. Mary is really doing a great thing with sharing that story. And as much as we all would love to believe you go in for 30 days and come out all healed and all great, it doesn't always work that way. And most times it doesn't. So that's a real raw story. Yeah.
There was also, though, definitely more than weed going on.
Absolutely, Joey. 1,000. Yeah. When I was sitting there watching, and I mean, sadly, because it has affected my family and I know what to look for, I was like, that is not weed, sweetie. Mm-mm.
No, it's definitely, I mean, weed could have been involved.
It could have been involved, but it wasn't just weed. I agree with you.
No. And to be honest, his eyes,
mm-hmm.
the way he spoke, it was an exact replica of last season's difficult conversson. I feel like there was really no growth, and it was really sad to watch.
It was sad to watch. And I felt like her giving him the words to say, did you smoke today? Was her way of, because he said drugs.
Right.
And she's the one that said, did you smoke? Because I just don't think she could handle,
yeah.
And I totally understand that. So, but I saw it. Yeah, I totally saw it. So prayers out to them. It's been in the media that he got arrested recently. So he's struggling, y'all. But, that is the sad journey that that stuff can take you down. So, but we pray that he gets past it and that he continues to get the help that he needs. So, but again, very brave that they share this with all of us. It's extremely brave. So, yeah. So the next scene, Bronwyn meets up with Heather because she wants to give it another shot. She wants to see if they can actually be friends. Bronwyn genuinely, for whatever the reason, wants to try to find a way either that they can be friends, or if she is like Elisa, hey, if I realize it's a no-go, it'll be duly noted. And she was like, then we can just learn how to coexist. It's either or. But she obviously wants to put forth the effort. And might I add, y'all, and y'all comment, let me know, when that scene, her Bronwyn's bag was bumping. That bag was fabulous. Woo! I mean, Bronwyn has a style that is a little out there for me, but it works for her. I think it looks great for her. But every now and again, those accessories, those peaches, I loved her bag. I did. It was just
that Palm Pilot money, no joke.
Okay, at all.
No joke.
No, ma'am. No, sir. Listen. She was fabulous. That bag was calling my name yet. Sherry doesn't have the budget for it, but I can live vicariously and watch it on TV. So Bronwyn wants to figure out, like I said, if they can be friends. Heather in confessional says she doesn't want to be annoyed with Bronwyn all the time. She says she doesn't want her friendship to feel like a chore. And so she's hopeful that they can break through something there. So Bronwyn comes in, they hug. Well, Bronwyn's actually already there. Heather comes in, they hug, and she asks what's been going on with her. She said her daughter Ashley's flying in from Santa Barbara to visit. She said it's time for her and Annabelle to spend time together because she's starting to get all her acceptance letters. And Heather says she's really exhausted and she can't wait for Annabelle to graduate. I'm like, here we go again, girl. We heard you at the RV trip. Now you sound a little bit crazy, a little excessive there. You could let that out. So Bronwyn acknowledges, okay, that you brought that up on the RV trip, and she said something that she thinks maybe was misunderstood, so she wants to clear it up. She tells her she was trying to be supportive of her and was trying to feel that she hears what she was trying to let her feel that she hears what she's saying. It's really tricky to want to go. You want them to go live their own lives, and you get to support them, and you get to focus on yourself. She said she's excited too to have less hands-on mom time. So she wasn't saying what she said to be negative or shaming. She totally understood where she was coming from. She said she didn't know how she heard it, and it just wanted to be really clear about it. Okay, so she's trying to let her know, look, girl, I saw you. You hopefully didn't take it wrong, but apparently you did. And Heather said, though she heard those words, she felt like she was trying to show that she felt like she did feel like you were trying to show you were understanding, but like define how you were definitely different and that you weren't done mothering and wanted Gwen there so badly that you moved her boyfriend in because you just love mothering so badly that she shouldn't feel bad that she was ready to not be hands-on anymore. And Bronwyn said she was sorry that that's how that came out. And I thought, no, it sounded like she was regurgitating what she was saying, but okay. But she said she was actually trying to say that she hasn't done a good enough job mothering. So she wasn't trying to say she was different in a better way at all. She was trying to empathize. And so Heather said, I wish we could have had that kind of convo around the campfire. And Bronwyn interrupted.
She wouldn't allow Bronwyn to have that kind of convo.
Not in front of those ladies.
Heather's always looking for a moment, right? Like, I feel like Heather is no longer living her authentic life. Like, Heather is living for these TV cameras to keep her spot on the show. She thinks she's the queen bee. That is Lisa. Yeah. And she is always looking for a moment, right? So everything that we have with Heather, she's looking for a fight. And therefore, she thinks when anyone else says anything else that they're like her, looking for a moment and a fight. That's not what Bronwyn was doing at all. That was an internalized issue that she had that she's projecting onto somebody else.
Agreed.
It's not a good look.
It's not. It's definitely not a good look. Bronwyn interrupted her and said, no, she's like, sometimes she says something to her and it may not land. And then she shuts down because she thinks, oop, Heather just doesn't like me. We just don't get along. And Heather said she thinks when they're in a group setting, you don't present it that way. She said she word salads a lot.
No.
And you're right. So Bronwyn being Bronwyn that we love, in confessional says it's really rich that she has a problem with how many words she uses and what they are, and if I pronounce them wrong, considering that Heather is best friends with Lisa Big Mouth Barlow. Fresh start are 2 effing words, Heather. Can we try that? Was that concise enough for you? I thought, here we go again. You did it again.
Not Heather Big Mouth Barlow.
Lisa Big Mouth Barlow. Yes. So Heather says, back at the table, why would you dump all that data you did about Lisa and her businesses from someone that you said you wanted nothing more than to be close to them? And Brian was like, yep. I did want to be close to Lisa, and I thought I was. And Lisa made it very clear that we are not close, and that in her mind, they never were. So Heather was like, so this was done. Now you mean all bets off, and you're just gonna. Bronwyn interrupts and said, it's not all bets off. And that she wanted to leave New York neutral with Lisa. Unfortunately, since Lisa was continuing to double, triple, and quadruple down on the things that she says about her, about who she is and her character, and they showed the tweets that Lisa put up, and they were pretty rough. She said, okay, well, I lost my thing. They show the tweets where Lisa put, one of which where she said that she was no better than Jen, actually, probably worse, lying to people, hurting people, making stuff up that didn't happen is pretty shitty. And so then Heather says, okay, so it's retaliatory. And Bronwyn said so eloquently, you can call it retaliatory, or you can call me meeting Lisa exactly where she is. And I thought, yep. Heather says, and you guys need to sit down and talk, and that shouldn't affect the group. And she's like, it should affect us. It should not affect us, but it does. But you seem really heated, Bronwyn. It's like you will not hear what I'm saying. And Bronwyn says, like, you're not hearing what I'm saying. And Heather said, I heard you. She said, but this is between you two, and that's what I'm saying. And Bronwyn says she thinks it does color that her relationship with her, meaning her relationship with Heather. And Heather claims she didn't have a problem with her, which is not true. Because if Lisa has a problem with her, she's going to find a problem with her. And that's what Bronwyn was getting at. And I agree 1,000%. Thoughts, Joey?
No, I mean, I totally agree. I mean, this is what Heather does, right? She champions someone, and that's it. You have an issue with that person, I have an issue with that person. You like that person, I like that person. You like this, I like that. Like, I don't know. I can't stomach her. I can't stand her. I'm so team Bronwyn, and if I was Bronwyn, like, I wouldn't have even went to this, like, lunch. Like, it's not worth it. Like, Heather's, like, not worth, like, your time. Heather's showing you she doesn't like you. Believe somebody when they show you who, like, they are. Just move along. You guys can film together, coexist. You don't need to be Heather's friend.
No, and I mean,
Heather's an awful friend.
She's an awful friend. In any scene that she's in with Heather, she's going to outshine her without effort. So, really, because I think Bronwyn sincerely thought, let me try. But he's like, okay, I don't need you now. And she don't. So, y'all, next scene, honey. The Amy Saturday social, y'all. That was the best part. So, Whitney and Justin arrived first. Little backstory. Amy still is the Salt Lake socialite, if they had such a thing. According to Heather, they don't really, but because usually there's stuff like that is socialite through the church.
I don't know. She kind of looks like a socialite to me. That was a party.
It was a party. That house was the house was housing. That party was partying. I mean, we'll get to it, but the whole champagne glory hole was marks and listen. Now that's opulent, y'all. Listen, that party had it's party. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're all invited. And so Whitney and Justin arrive first. Then Brittni and Jared. Then Mary and Bronwyn when they come together. Now, have you noticed? And I guess we'll see Todd some on next episode. But have you noticed that Todd has been noticeably a lot less present?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't think that he enjoyed the reception he got last season. I don't think. I wonder, like, watching it back, if he was like, ooh, like, is that how I come off? Because it was not very likable.
No, he talked to her crazy a lot. And it was hard to watch. She is such a badass that you would not believe. But I mean, here's the dynamics of the relationship, so that was hard to watch. I mean, yeah, he would talk to her like a child. I didn't like it. And neither did a lot of the fans. So noticeably, he's taken a step back to include when she was on Watch What Happens Live. He was not in the audience. Christian Serrano was there with her. She was wearing a dress of his. Todd was there, but he was backstage. He was not visible in the audience. I was like, ooh. And Ron was like, hey, do you blame him? And Andy's like, no.
He didn't sign up for this show. She did.
No, that's right. That's exactly right. I mean, he was at least there. He was actually in the building. He just was like, you're not going to put the cameras on me, and you're not going to ask me nothing either. So there's that. So, and then Heather and Angie comes. Then Meredith and Seth with their whole glory hole of champagne. That was cute little moment. And the ladies are mingling, honey. They're in their element. There's, I guess, the who's who of Salt Lake is in. I cannot say Salt Lake. It's like, why don't I want to say Salt Lady? Don't know, y'all. It's been a long week, but Salt Lake. The who's who are in that party, and the ladies are mingling. And then you see Lisa and John in the car on their way to the party. Now, Lisa looks a little shook. Did you notice, Joey?
Mm-hmm. Off like the rip.
Yes, she did. She did. And John's kind of like, girl, leave, like, what's going on with you? But Lisa said she feels uneasy and upset. She's like, the girls are like vultures. She feels like they will be like, oh my gosh, we got to get her. We got to get her. And she's like, you're not getting anything. There's nothing to hide. I live my life in the light. I can only destroy myself. You can't destroy me. I'm like, that's not what happens, sweetie. You got destroyed.
No, but I just also, part of me also feels like I do feel that like every season it's just someone new coming for like Lisa. And it's like, all right, you know what? At some point, like enough is enough. Like, let's like move along. And I really wish that Bronwyn took a different route this season and went after Heather. Because I still, I know I sound like a broken record.
No, that would be nice.
I really do feel like a lot of the issues in this group stem from Heather. And you can't convince me otherwise. And I wish that instead of just taking everything at face level, where obviously Lisa's going to be like the antagonist. I get that.
Yeah.
But if Bronwyn addressed the reason of the issues, which is that Heather loves to stir the pot, Heather loves to bring information back, which is not always accurate. It would, for me, it would make a much more interesting season where like, because like Heather would cower to Bronwyn.
Oh yeah. She could.
Whereas like Lisa, she might get eaten up, but she's not going to cower to anyone.
No, she's not. She's not. So that's true.
That's my 2 cents. I wish at some point somebody would go after Heather.
Somebody needs to get her. Because she's not squeaky clean. And then when they go back and watch it and see, I mean, because last season, she should have got ate up. She really should have. And yeah. So.
She should have gotten ate up the season before that for lying about your eye.
Yep. Yes, you're right.
But she always gets this like pass for this lying, conniving, shit-stirring like storm that she like concocts every single season. And I don't understand why she always gets the pass.
I don't get it either.
Yet we are just like microscoping every move that Lisa Barlow makes to try to like pick it apart. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, good point, Joey. Very good point. Well, at this point, they get to the party, Lisa and John, and Lisa greets Amy and says hi to the ladies. Lisa tells Meredith she had lunch with Heather, and she kind of told me about the trip. who wasn't a good friend and who was. And she told me the legal stuff came up. And she asked, was there anything else that she needed to know? Meredith tells her there was a lot said, and she thinks the women should have a chance to talk to her and say what they said because it was not nice. And then here comes Pick Me Brittni.
Ugh.
She's another one. I did know why she came back. I know why. I knew they were going to bring her back a little bit. Yeah. But she comes up and says hi, and she's like, I didn't mean to interrupt, but she did. She wanted a moment. She said she hugged Lisa, and Lisa said that she had missed her. They hadn't seen each other in so long. I'm thinking, when were they besties? But apparently, because Brittni did go hard for her, so maybe.
Lisa loves a
flunky. She loves a flunky.
Worship the ground you walk on type of friend.
Yeah. All day. Yeah, totally. So Brittni is serving that purpose. She asked Brittni what was her perspective on the trip, and she said, well, Bronwyn was pulling like facts out the air. And Lisa asked, well, what did Angie have to say? And she said Angie compared her to Jen-Shah. And Lisa was like, she did not. She's like, yeah, she did. And that took Lisa clean out the game. But I'm thinking, girl, you just on a tweet compared Bronwyn to Jen-Shah and then said, no, Bronwyn was worse than Jen-Shah. So like, what?
Rules for thee, but not for me.
I'm like, yeah, girl. I was like, okay. So Whitney lets Heather and Bronwyn know that Brittni and Lisa are talking about Angie. And Lisa proceeds to go off about Angie comparing her to Jen-Shah. And in confessional, she says, you called me a criminal in front of our friends. And she's like, I would never do that to you. She said she wouldn't do that to someone she hated. But I'm thinking that you did it to Bronwyn, but okay. She goes on to say she was a great friend to Angie. Yeah, back to the circle jerks. And she went the distance for Angie. And they flash back to her defending Angie to Meredith. Okay, so she did get that scene. She did. Okay. Then Lisa goes on to say, and this is how you repay me. So at this point, Whitney can't take it. So she goes over to Angie and is like, girl, they are talking about you. And Bronwyn says, Brittni told Lisa about you. So Angie's like, what did she say about her? And she's like, she told her that you compared her to Jen-Shah. So Lisa tells Brittni and Meredith that Angie is right over there and she thinks they need to have a conversation. And Meredith tells her that she thinks that's a good idea. So
at this socialite party is clearly the place to have the conversation.
Right. How embarrassing.
For women that claim that they are so classy and so whatever,
so connected and so socially and high
and again, this is not like a salt. This is like all franchises. They pick the most insane, ridiculous choice of scenery and events to have these conversations that make them all look so classless.
I know. I mean, and what was so funny to me is the footage of the different ones' reactions. They were like,
yeah. As their like pinkies are up, drinking like their champagne, and these women are just like yelling at each other like psychopaths.
Right. I was like, okay. So she comes up to Angie and she's like, I think we need to chat, which, Lisa. And she tells her she heard some conversations were had when she was gone. And Angie said, yeah, they did. And Lisa asked if she wanted to fill her in. And Angie said, yeah, I'd love to. What did Birdie tell you? Meaning Brittni. So I can undo the mess. And Lisa asked, or Lisa starts screaming. No. Lisa asked, what do you want to tell me? Angie said, I'll tell you this. It got brought up, the lawsuits. Bronwyn's bringing her documents. She's bringing her information. And before she can finish her sentence, Lisa starts screaming, Bronwyn did not go to law school. And I doubt she even went to college. So maybe not believe everything Bronwyn says. And Angie asked her to hear her out. The way that she described the lawsuits that came out. Well, now Bronwyn is entering the chat. Because she's like, look, y'all are talking about me. So here I am.
Yep.
And says, you're not mad at Angie, you're mad at me. So we can hash it out instead of you and Angie. And Lisa tells Bronwyn, I don't want to talk to you. You're dismissed. And in confessional, Bronwyn says, oh, I'm dismissed, Lisa? I think what you mean is, please, Judge, dismiss those lawsuits against me. We're warming up. We're warming up. We are warming up. And Lisa says, back over at the conversation, Lisa says, this is not for you. I don't want to talk to you. Bronwyn was like, it is about me. I'm the one who started it. And Lisa said, she's not going to say another word, and she's gone. And Bronwyn again says, this has nothing to do with Angie. You're upset with me. And Lisa says, she's not upset with Bronwyn. She's like, I don't even like you. And Whitney said, but she's your friend. And Lisa said, Angie and I have more history than you and I do. And Bronwyn said, Angie just told you I'm the one who said it. Lisa pushes back and tells Bronwyn that she thinks it's not great timing. There's more chatter. She does not want Bronwyn.
Lisa does not want that smoke from Bronwyn because she knows.
She knows. So she's trying with all she can to stop it, but nope. Then Lisa starts yelling, you're loitering. This is loitering at this point. Y'all, let me tell you something. This is also why I love Lisa Barlow. She says the craziest stuff. It is so funny.
She's so funny.
She's so funny, and she so means it. She was like, you are loitering. Like, look, I've told you to leave, and you still here. That is loitering at this point. And so then the cameras shift over to the guys, which it was a silly moment where they were asking Jared if he really loved Brittni. Nobody cares. Jared is just there for the cameras.
Yeah,
Moving along.
We literally don't care.
We still don't care. Back to Lisa yelling like a banshee, saying she has zero interest in talking to Bronwyn. I bet you don't. Bronwyn says, you talk to everybody else about me, but you don't want to talk to me? And then Lisa says, you're dishonest. Bronwyn says, because I said things about you that should make people have a question and a pause about what's going on in your life. And Lisa screams back, I have a question and pause about you, gout dick sucker. Y'all, and I said, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it one time. And after that, I'm going to say D. Y'all, now we have another one. Last season, we had high body count hair. This season, we have gout D, y'all. These ladies are crazy.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, Joey, apparently it is a real thing. It's rare, but it can happen. The same way that you can get gout in your foot, the uric acid can find its way.
Because I was team, who was it in the confessional that was like, I thought that was in your feet. Was that Whitney?
Whitney said that.
And the whole time I'm like, God, I never thought I'd see the day that I'm like agreeing with like Whitney. But I was like, yeah, like what? I had no idea. And granted, I didn't do my own research, but I had no idea you can get it there.
It's very rare. Very, very rare. But the fact that she just let that roll off her tongue, I'm thinking, girl, where do you get this stuff? At any rate, Whitney in confessional, that's what she says. Look, I thought it was in your feet. It's like, I know you can get it there. And Heather in confessional, which is so stupid, I really don't even want to repeat it. She does this whole thing about last time she heard that it was back during the Civil War, and she does this accent. It's really so stupid. I'm not. Lisa screaming again says, I have 0, and Bronwyn yells over her because I'm telling you what's public record now, I'm a D-sucker. And Lisa said, no, you were a D-sucker before. That's how you got your clothes. And Bronwyn said, no, Lisa, my husband pays for my clothes. And Lisa said, because you suck his D. That's what you brag about. Y'all, this is so stupid.
It's so stupid. And my thing is, though, we're on what? We're on season 6?
Yeah.
Is it 6?
It's 6, season 6.
Never have we seen anyone shake Lisa Barlow like this.
Not like that.
5 full seasons. Mm-hmm. She was visibly shaken. She was visibly backed into a corner. She didn't know what to do. This is why she didn't want that smoke from Bronwyn.
She didn't.
And the whole time, like, Lisa is, like you said, screaming like a banshee. Mm-hmm. Bronwyn never once raises her voice.
Never once. Never once.
Is just still dominating the argument. It was
1000%.
so crazy to watch. And my thing was Lisa's reaction, even though I feel like Lisa's like always like really over the top and like dramatic, it makes her look so much guiltier.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Like, it's the reaction of someone that is guilty, like trying to like gaslight and like defend themselves. But like, I just was like, this is so wild. Like the difference in tone and the difference that they brought into the argument. I mean, it was like night and day. And yet all the dramatics and yelling in the world were not going to help Lisa's argument because Bronwyn had her.
Bronwyn had her in a chokehold. And think about the difference in that scene versus when Lisa goes at Whitney.
Right.
You never, I mean, she tears Whitney, and Whitney will just, eventually Whitney just doesn't have the vocabulary. She just doesn't.
Right.
And Lisa can say those crazy things and it lands on Whitney different. Bronwyn could care less. She'll care.
Right. Right.
And she has the intellect and the vocabulary and the facts, allegedly. And Lisa, it was entertaining, but it was crazy because Lisa was reduced down to like, what, a 10-year-old?
Yeah. And like my other thing is though, like we've seen the headlines in like the news and like the papers. So why are all these other women lying as if like they haven't seen it and Bronwyn's making this all up? It's crazy because they all, for some reason, cower at the altar of Lisa Barlow. And it really is wild. And Bronwyn, she's not going to do it.
She's not going to do it, y'all. It goes on. You know, she talks about the financials in court. And Lisa wants, she said, Lisa, you can yell all you want. It's in the court case. Whitney chimes in and says, yes, in the court case. And Lisa screams, no, it's not. It's not in the court case. They show the court docs where it's highlighted and states plaintiffs made payments on an American Express card issued in Barlow's name, but residing and managed under blurred out name, personal American Express account. And then Bronwyn cautions her not to put her finger in her face because at this point she's doing all of this. And Lisa's like, I'll do whatever I want. And Bronwyn's like, no, you won't. Absolutely don't put your finger in my face. Lisa yells, are we going to get the head nod too? Because now she's trying to emulate. And so she was like, you can make fun of me all you want and keep yelling at me all you want. It's not going to clear up those lawsuits, Lisa. Cash will clear up the lawsuits, not putting your finger in my face, not pretending to put your hair behind my ear and be me. You can yell as much as you want, Lisa. It's not going to do anything to me. You've been yelling for an effing year. I'm a liar. I suck D. You suck D. She looks at Whitney. Said, do you suck D? Whitney was like, I was like, and all of the women are so amused. I mean, some are like this and some are like this, but some are just like, she is tearing her up.
And again, we are at this fancy socialite party at someone's house.
I know. Listen, I mean, embarrassing. Lisa says, well, that's how you pay your bills. You brag about that too. Whitney's like, well, she's married. And so in confessional, Bronwyn is like, okay, my Amex bill comes in a box, not in an envelope. It's that many effing pages, okay? I have to distract Todd from it sometimes. The point is, this is what happens when you're friends with Lisa. You make a joke to her, and 5 years later, she's going to pull it out of her long arsenal and try to twist and make you look bad. And Bronwyn tells Lisa, I actually do enjoy having relations with my husband, so I'm unfazed by this accusation. Go for it. Lisa screams on how she's okay with Todd, but in Mexico, she's trying to get the girls rallied up. In Mexico, she wasn't okay with Todd. Bronwyn's like, in marriages, we all have ups and downs. Anybody in marriages that's had a marriage has had ups and downs. That's not going to change the facts. And Lisa's like, nobody talks more about your husband than you do. Nobody. Bronwyn's like, okay, well, nobody borrowed money behind their husband's back other than you. So what does that say? Lisa says it's not true. Bronwyn says, is John not aware? Lisa keeps saying it's not true. And Bronwyn says, because the text messages they put in the court documents said that you specifically asked them not to tell John about it. Ooh, I'm like, girl, Lisa's trying on to hold to some semblance of dignity at this point, y'all.
No,
And
dude, Bronwyn, let me tell you, she is well read in this court case. Bronwyn knew exactly what she needed to say. She knew her facts. Lisa was not going to get away with anything, which is a rarity in the housewife world. Normally, they're not very like prepared. They really don't know what they're talking about, and they're just like squawking. So it was a much different fight than we're used to seeing, I feel like, in like the Housewives universe.
I agree. And the fact that as much as she tried to deflect, Bronwyn would not let her off. And listen, y'all, this is like a sophomore year of a housewife. This is just her second season, honey. And for her to get the memo, because last season she really did want to be Lisa's friend, or thought they were. She was like, all right, I have a mission and I'm executing it flawlessly.
Yep, fool her once, but you're not gonna fool her twice.
Not gonna again. And y'all, I thought the stupidest thing was, because Brown was like, look, she was like, oh guys, she thinks she's a lawyer. She didn't even go to college. Brown said, I don't think I'm a lawyer, and I don't have to be a lawyer to read the newspaper. She's like, Lisa's like, you should really go to school. And Brown said, Lisa, you should go to work and pay those effing lawsuits off. It's what you should do. And all the ladies are like, whoa. And Lisa's like, you're disgusting and a pig. And she's like, I'm going to create a website and post all your lies. And Bronwyn was like, starting a negative online campaign. We know you love to do that, Lisa. You've done it to many of us already. So I love that you're threatening to do it again. And Whitney's like, uh-huh. And y'all, she rants and rants again. But Bronwyn won that fight. Clean,
no question
flawless victory. It's like when Mortal Kombat and they play flawless, honey.
Yeah.
It was pretty epic. So, guys, you gotta let us know. That was the episode. Oh yeah, she tore up. And next, I guess the next episode, we do get to see Todd. She sits down and kind of gives him, a little bit of what's going on, which he's just like, I don't even know why you give her the time of day. She's awful. And then what was the other part that we're supposed to see? Next episode. I don't remember. I don't know. I was still just so mesmerized by the way Bronwyn ate her up. Yeah. She just had nothing, y'all. Nothing. And I thought it was a great episode. Joey?
No, I thought it was great. I thought it was so great. I'm super excited for this season. Like I said though already, I wish it was Heather they were going after, because I feel like it's another season of like going after like Lisa. It's a little like repetitive, but as much as I like love Lisa though, I mean, it is what it is. I like Bronwyn too. I think that she was a great addition to the show. And if anyone's gonna go after Lisa, it's gonna be Bronwyn. It's gonna be epic. Is what it's gonna be.
Epic. It's gonna be entertaining. It's going to be funny. All the things that we like, and those are the things we love about Salt Lake City.
Yeah,
so it's giving. I agree. It's giving. So you guys slide in the comments. Let us know what you thought about the episode. What were your favorite Bronwyn digs? I don't know. I had mine. But all right, last words, Joey, and then we're going to wrap it up so we can go watch.
We are going to wrap it up, but I do have to bring about 2 key points to our other shows that we're not talking about.
Okay.
Number 1, in Miami, I want your take on Kiki being the one to put the math equation on Adriana's cake, because I thought that whole scene was so ridiculous. Like, yes, it was like kind of rude. Kiki was trying to be funny. I think it obviously like landed wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But Adriana, and now you think I'm a racist? Kiki never called Adriana a racist.
She didn't.
And then Adriana just kept like repeating it. And then she had to bring her. This drives me crazy. Like, I'm not a racist. I have a black friend. She brings like her black friend over to like defend her, which the black friend clearly looks very uncomfortable.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, am I going crazy? Like, Kiki didn't mean to be like rude.
No, she didn't. I mean, it was a joke, and it was our last little dig after the little exchange they had with the whole ratchet comment.
Right.
Adriana went way too far, and I don't know why she felt she had to do that. It was very low brow.
At her own event?
At her own classy event. And, And if I was her friend, her Black friend, there is no way. I'd be like, girl, I'm not even in this nonsense. And it was so bad that Kiki, I mean, she was so like, what? It made me lose some respect for Adriana. It really did. Because I'm like, now you look crazy. Now I'm have to look at you funny because why are you going so crazy to try to defend something that wasn't even said?
Right.
Did you say ratchet because it had a racial connotation?
Oh, I never thought about that. Interesting.
Maybe that's what you thought. And so now you're trying to clear your name. But Kiki didn't say it. So, they say that hit dog will holler, right? She felt guilty.
And then lastly, Gretchen dropping the cheating rumor, well, by accident, on OC, and then her calling Slade about Tamra singing, and then he brings up, oh, but they forgot that it was still like recording and it caught like them like blah blah. Girl, you did that on purpose, and then tried to play it off like, oh, that's not what I was talking about, girl.
We're having girl time here. This split happens at a sleepover, stays at a sleepover. Lies. Let me just tell you, that was Slade driven. She is Slade's puppet. It is so stupid. Now, whether it happened or not, let's be clear, I wouldn't put it past Tamra, but at this point, that was so contrived. I was like, and we all know Emily is salivating.
Tamra's lapdog? Come on.
So yeah, I mean, and for that reason, yes. I mean, like we said, we're invested. We're going to keep watching, but I thought, and actually, I heard the audio. It is making its way on the internet. Tamra sounds horrid.
Shocking.
Oh my God. Well, right? But then you hear them talking. You can tell it's some flirting. Again, it's alleged. She says it didn't happen. She even saying that she's talking to an attorney, but we'll see.
You're talking to your attorney in a recording studio?
No, she's saying she's talking to an attorney because of the allegation that.
Please. Come on, Tamra. With all the crap that she's done, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you can't handle the heat, stay out the kitchen, Tamra. Stay out the kitchen.
Exactly. Agreed. It's ridiculous. But yeah. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. And like I said, yeah, I was going to try to pull the audio for here, but because of copyright things and stuff, I thought, I don't know.
Yeah, let's not.
YouTube is kind of funny. Right. So.
However, big news tonight, everyone. Teresa Giudice and Gia Giudice on the season premiere of Special Forces. I cannot wait.
I know.
I'll be honest, I'm not going to watch OC or whatever. I got to watch my girl Teresa.
Yes. This is one that my husband's actually looking forward to watching with me, so I'm going to be doing the same. Y'all, I don't know if y'all watch TLC Sister Wives, but the most disgusting human being is also going to be on there, Cody Brown, and I want to see him get like torn up somehow. So I'll be watching too. Yeah. I'm excited.
I can't wait.
Yeah, same. So you guys slide in comments, let us know what you'll be watching tonight, what you're excited about, and things that are coming up. We have Potomac coming soon. We have the wife swap.
Could they have picked more uninteresting? Why? Like I said, I'm only interested in Angie K.
Yeah, Angie K. And Wendy.
And I love me some Happy Eddie.
I know, right?
But like, I'm sorry. I think Wendy's boring. I could not care less about Emily or Shane. And we all know how I feel about Melissa Gorga. And God bless the poor woman that has to go live with that male chauvinist midget, Joe Gorga. What a disaster.
He's going to ham it up too, y'all. So it's going to be something to see. Oh, yeah. Yes, indeedy. But yeah, so you guys let us know if you'll be watching and what you'll be watching. And on that note, any other words? Final words, Joey?
I got nothing. I got to go get my popcorn ready for Special Forces. Teresa,
same.
They're always like, oh, Teresa, she's going to be awful. Y'all forgot. She survived prison.
That's right. She sure did. She did. So, hey, I'm here for it. I want to see. So, all right, guys, as always, thanks so much for tuning in. Join us next week. We will be talking all things Salt Lake City, and we may have some little bits of OC, Miami. We got reunions coming up and, you know, all those things. So you got to tune in. Go ahead, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when we'll be back. All right. Y'all have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.